can't believe all the updates they applied to this RV. If it weren't for the fact that it says Vibe, I would almost think this was a new brand that launched this year. All right, and welcome everybody. Josh, the RV nerd of Bish's RV, down here at Forest River Vibe, checking out some new things they put out. Give me some really good vibes. They are not resting on their laurels. They have almost completely reinvented themselves over the past year, and a lot of builders make a floor plan like this. It's that very traditional 26-27 rear kitchen super slide layout, but they decided, what if we just did it different? Now, I will tell you, I have the furniture arranged in a very weird format in this video just to draw attention to the fact that you can do whatever the frick you want to do with this thing. You don't have to leave the two free-floating pushback recliners dead against the sidewall. If you want to move them in front of the kitchen like a theater seat configuration when you get to your destination, it is quick and easy to do so, and frankly, I think it works really well, because otherwise, this floor plan suffers from a 90-degree neck wrecker entertainment center that kind of sucks. But when you realize you can do whatever you want with those chairs, it suddenly changes. Now, it's not an L-shaped chaise lounge next to the TV either. It's a sleeper sofa, a trifold sleeper sofa, with a floating footrest ottoman with storage and flip-up table. Plus, you have the additional like 6-way adjustable table next to the kitchen area, which has solid surface counters that wrap around you to create some crazy killer good counter space. The RV's extra tall. They nailed the campside window assignment. They gave us a bigger bed, and they're actually going to standardize an improved dual air system. Not to mention it's a heated belly, wide stance axles, and this thing has sweet cargo carry capacity. The trick is, it might push it beyond the realms of some comfortable half-ton towability, and there's some other weird, wonky things about the RV too. I'm going to share the good with the bad, and if you appreciate that candid look at things, hit that subscribe button. Let's get going. And again, I want to begin this video by mentioning I have the furniture currently set up in a weird format to kind of drive home the fact that you can do kind of whatever the you want with this thing. It'd be really funny if cousin Garrett, the RV nerd video editor, threw a bleep on there where I said whatever the crap and it came out whatever the bleep. That would be funny. I don't know how everybody would interpret that, but I think it would be very funny. The thing is, these are free floating recliners. It's not a theater seat. I just kind of have it set up in a theater seat arrangement because I think it addresses one of the biggest problem points with this RV, is that by default, this arrangement has a 90-degree neck wrecker entertainment center. And I think that very effectively addresses it for $0. Now, we are 6'8" tall, 80 inches, which is kind of uncommon in the industry. And the air conditioners are going to change from what you're seeing here in the video today. In this video, and maybe some of the 25 vibes have gotten out like this, you have a 15,000 BTU centralized living room air conditioner that feeds the whole house, and then an optional second air conditioner that would drop exclusively into the bedroom. That's going to change. They're going to change over to standard dual air instead of optional second air. The living room air conditioner will become larger, more powerful, more efficient, Furrion 18,000 BTU chill cube, and it will only exclusively cool the biggest cabin in the room. Your small bedroom and bathroom will share a single air conditioner, giving this thing 31,500 BTUs of total cooling power. And, well, I mean, quite literally, that is pretty cool. But, again, they nailed the goal of maximizing campside window coverage. They have just slathered this thing. If I step over this floating footrest ottoman that I left here and take a plop over at the theater seat, you get a better look at it, actually. So from the, not from the theater seat, from the hide-a-bed sofa, this is what we're looking at right here. That window's a little bit bigger than the one over the kitchen because the valance over the top of the kitchen actually is like a shelf itself. Now, here's the thing. Because there's not cabinetry there, they didn't have the opportunity to build in a stovetop exhaust vent hood. So what they did is they included a mini vent fan directly above it to help exhaust out all that hot air. By the way, all these big windows we're looking at, they all open for airflow. And this huge countertop space over here, it is, well, I mean, it's awesome. It is, you are not hurting for prep space. I love the orientation. I love the location of everything. I think they really, really nail this. Something else that I want to display for you is they give you an awesome little appliance corner back over here. You've got power outlets both under the overhead cabinet to the left of the light, and then the more obvious set to the right-hand side over there. So coffee makers, griddles, air fryers, well, the RV actually has a built-in air fryer. We haven't even got that far yet. When I get twisted around, I'll showcase that for you. It sounds a showcase. Always makes me think of the Price is Right in the Showcase Showdown, you know? Now, this RV has tons of windows over here on the opposite side, too. I think they just did both sides very well. And if you don't like these extra chairs, if you feel like they're in the way, they fold away. You can store them like under the bed. You can put them in a front pass-through. You can burn them if you want to. I don't care. Just, you have to buy it first. You can't burn them otherwise. But you might notice this is where I've been laptopping for the day. One of the reasons is that I'm a bigger dude, and I like the fact that if I want to, I can slide that tabletop away toward, I can do whatever I want and reconfigure this, and that's all the more complicated it is. So, pardon the interruption. After I recorded all this footage, I realized I've been using this like a desk all day, and even that thin back pad was actually surprisingly comfortable. I was actually shocked at how well this works, especially considering you have some power outlets right down here, some USBs that you could jump off of. But, you know, look how I fit into this thing. So, you know, no fairy tale movie magic, but what I kind of did is I've been sliding this out of the way. I've been scooting in here, partially. Now, you might notice my long chicken legs are kind of straddling the post down here, but then I've been just kind of pulling it back so that I'm not fighting with the bench over here for leg space or anything. And if I need to, I can pull it closer to me. I can move it away from me, depending on how big of a lunch I had on a given day. And this has worked really well. And then when I'm done, I just slide it back over. I do one little scoop, and I'm out of here. It's simple, easy, and it's worked surprisingly well. Speaking of wells, it reminds me of the time that I forgot to put on my spectacles, and I fell in the well in the backyard. I couldn't see that well. Now, this is a telescopic drop-down dining leg. Sorry, I threw that chair right in your face. Oh, my knees hurt. Let me get up. The thing is, I don't think that's designed to be a sleeper. I also don't know that it needs to be a sleeper because we have a tri-fold sleeper sofa over here that can fold open and not interfere with stuff. But again, we'll come back to that in just a minute. These are those what's called Roman shades, Roman blinds. I don't ever remember. Basically, it looks like this is just a valance, but if you get your hand up in here and grab it, the whole thing actually is a privacy shading curtain. Then just as easily you just push it up and it goes away. Let's get wrapped around the kitchen counter here. Now, to clarify some kitchen appliance stuff, we have a 12-volt compressor fridge in the 10 cubic foot family. We have a 3-burner propane stovetop. We do not have a propane oven. We have an electric oven, 3-in-1 function, like air fryer, microwave combo, basically down here. So some folks go, yeah, I don't like having the microwave down that far by my knees. It's hard to get into. I respect that. There's other builders of this floor plan that might do it a different way for you, but this is how Vibe does it, you know? Again, we can configure these recliners however we want to, but when you put them in this orientation, that's the benefit. Instead of having a 90-degree neck wrecker entertainment center, we've basically created a theater seat that stares directly at the TV, and the TV can pivot. Now, obviously, I've got that sync hardware in the way, but that's also kind of one of the things that I wanted to demonstrate for you. When you are over here in the kitchen, which that's my morning coffee and that's my lunch drink over there. Sorry, I wanted to keep them in the sink and out of the way, and I didn't want them to like sweat and get all over the countertop and everything. But if you are standing here, if you're doing dishes, if you're prepping stuff, you're not left out. You're still part of the entertainment. And I really, really like that about this RV. But again, there's no one way you have to set up the furniture. So maybe if you're alone, or if there's just 2 of you, or if you bring some guests over, or depending on what's on TV, you can kind of reconfigure this arrangement however you want to. This is the more traditional way. This floor plan is usually displayed as the way I've always done it in the past. And the day that I realized I could turn those recliners basically into a theater seat, it's like it took this floor plan and it changed everything that I knew about it. But you know, there's still more going on here. Because that ottoman footrest thing for the, it's nice that both sofas have a way to kick your feet up. It's also its own little Dinofa table and little bonus storage solution. Of course, that can also pop open into a bed, although I will tell you, those are a good bed if you don't want somebody to stay for a long time. I'll just leave that information there for you, okay? In case you're curious as to why I say that, if you spend 1 or 2 nights on that thing, if you wake up and stretch in the morning, your back is going to sound like you're twisting a celery stalk, basically. It's just going to go like crack, 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 and you're going to go, ow. The solution is actually very simple. You just go get your own RV from Bish's RV. And then it's what the hang on, look at this. Look at the pictures on the drawer. There's an apple, broccoli, and a pumpkin. Who is putting a pumpkin in that drawer? I've never even seen a picture of a pumpkin in a refrigerator before. Who came up with that? Who greenlit this idea? Anyway, so yeah, we've got the pumpkin spice drawer in the bottom of the 12-volt fridge. One thing I want to be clear about, when they went with this gigantic maximized kitchen window, you did sacrifice some storage cabinetry to get you there. There's a reason nobody else has really done a window like that before. You got to kill cabinets, and cabinets, they're hard to give up. That being said, what's interesting is when you have L-shaped overhead kitchen cabinets, there's a rear corner back here that's hard to access. That is no longer hard to access. I'm not saying you're making up for the lost storage necessarily. I'm just saying sometimes you can, depending on your perspective, you can turn chicken poop into chicken soup. Which, to be fair, tastes about as good as it sounds. Now, the good news is I don't think we're really lacking in storage. Rear kitchens, hello, you get to see my ugly reflection. You can see that I obviously talk with my hands while I'm behind camera. This is just one of the few times you get to see that. I think that's the water heater down there, by the way. And you might notice no heat vents in the floor, so, really Fido-friendly kind of design here. Now, if I back up to the door with the furniture back in the more traditional configuration, with those extra chairs tucked away and not necessarily in the way of the dining, I think it actually looks and feels bigger this way, but I don't know that it actually is necessarily more functional this way. What would you do? How would you set the furniture up in this one? I'm kind of curious. And while you're leaving me a note or not, I'll flip around and we'll get going on the bathroom. There we go. Get that bathroom door out of the way, swing our way around here. We're actually going to begin right in the shower, where you may notice this has one of those handy retractable shower doors. And you might notice we're doing a little bit of what I call shadow puppet theater with Mr. Nick from Vibe over here. Nick, you're 6'5", you said?
Yeah. Yep.
Nick is 6'5". Now, he's a big dude. He's taller than the average bear, you think it's fair to say? And he's
average bear, I don't know.
Average bear, you don't know. Trust me, you are. Now, his head has to be all the way up in the skylight. He's wearing that sucker like a hat. If you look on the left side of the screen, I'm a good flat-footed 4 inches shorter than Nick. I can actually stand with my head in the ceiling. I'm 6'1", flat-footed, but you get the space there that even a bigger person potentially could fit in here. Now, just so that you can see, Mr. Nick's not doing any sort of crazy like knee bending or anything. He does fit in here. Nick, would you be willing to do the old fluffy, friendly bazooka butt toilet size demo test for us over here?
Of course.
Wow, he even lifted the lid. I wouldn't have done it. He's being thorough about this. So obviously you're Johnny Longlegs, yeah, and you're Mr. Tall Boy, and you got yourself plenty of headroom right here and plenty of legroom. So I would say overall this fits an American size plus person pretty well.
Yeah,
I
would agree.
Thank you, Mr. Nick. Appreciate you, buddy. Here, there you go. Now, by the way, if you ever go to give somebody knuckles and they go to shake your hand, what you do is you go, paper covers rock. Oh. All right, so special thanks to Mr. Nick for being willing to stay and play with us, which actually means something very different. If your neighbor brings you a pineapple, staying and playing It means something else. I'll let you Google it. I'll move on from there. Anyway, the bathroom storage is pretty darn good, actually. Take a look at the left side of the screen. You can see you've got like quadruple drawers to the floors there. Some shelf space under the sink that maybe would be good for linen space. It means that we don't have a dedicated trash can space, but having some good linen space in this bathroom would be handy. Although, I do like that hanging towel bar as compared to the what do I want to say, the towel, like Octopus Fight Club coat hanger hooks. I also like that you have separate lighting, like basically dedicated just to the hallway entry area as compared to like the rest of the RV. Now I got to get this out of the way. I got to catch that so we can get ourselves into the bedroom here, because these Roman shade blind whatchamajiggers through the RV, they like to push the bedroom door shut. Both sides of this bedroom have about the biggest window I think you've ever seen in a bedroom. It's pretty darn awesome. Now they went with a bigger mattress. It's about 6 inches bigger in every way. Last year they had a 60 by 74 short queen bed. I'm trying to reach around the corner to find the light switch. There it is. This year it's a 66 by 78. Basically it's about an Olympic queen mattress, technically 2 inches short. Their literature calls it a custom king. It's not a king. It's not any variety of king. It is custom, but it's actually more of a custom Olympic queen. I just like to make that known so that I'm not trying to to burn them. I'm trying to point out, when you go buy mattresses and sheets and stuff like that. I will say this mattress wasn't the worst I've ever laid upon, because I stretched my back out on it earlier, so I didn't have celery back, which is, I think, a new term we all need to adopt, because we all know what celery back is, just crack. But I like the headboard power pockets. They also made the storage under the bed easy and very functional. Easy with the gas struts, functional because they give us basically like a dresser storage chest and the shoe garage down below. A nice little 1-2 punch combo there. Over here on the side, we don't have dresser drawers, but I think you could still use that. I mean, for your Crocs socks, undies, you probably wouldn't put Crocs in there. You get the idea. For some reason, I always say Crocs socks and undies. It's just one of those things that sounds very funny to me. Now, if we're being fair, if we're looking at these hanging wardrobe towers, if I get this bed back out of the way, you can see how the hanging wardrobe space right there, it's a little short. If you're just going to hang a small shirt, it's fine. But if you need to hang big stuff, the good news is they do have a solution over there in the corner. Real quick, though, I do want you to know that you also have TV hookups straight across from the bed. And remember, in the soon-to-be updated generation, it won't be an optional second air in the bedroom. It will be a standard centralized air that will cool the bedroom and the bathroom, so that every room in the RV is really given its own, appropriate, proportionate cooling power. Now, here's a really crazy cool thing. This closet is actually voice activated. Check this out. Vibe, closet, open. Opening. Either that, or I slid it open with my foot off camera. You'll never know. Oh, that is so stupid, and I am so tired. And I genuinely, I gotta tell you how much I love and appreciate you people who are willing to tolerate me to even a fraction of the level that my wife tolerates me. You are saints in the same way that she is. I love that woman, and I appreciate you folks. Back to the task at hand. You can remove those shelves. You could put in a combo or a stackable washer dryer. But I call this a closet, and you don't really see closet store. Is this from the bottom up? Okay, it's from the bottom. I never remember which way those things open. So you got one on the left, one on the right. You can use one. You can use both. You can actually, very easily convert this into whatever you want it to be. Closing up the slides for road mode. What? Why did that sound so familiar? Closing up the slides for road mode. Oh, Heroes on a Half Shell, Turtle Power. Okay, yeah, that's just taking me back to 1983, watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Sorry, carry on. Anyway, slide closed road mode. Like most rear kitchens, when the slide closes, the fridge, the pantry, they done, son. There's nothing you're really going to do about that. Now, AccuSlide, the cable system this is on, one of the benefits of it is that it can be partially opened if you need to sort of get through to get to the fridge. Where's the handle? Where's the handle? There it is. And remember, because you got that sliding tabletop, I'm not saying it's awesome. It's tight. I'm saying if you absolutely had to get back here, and like, I don't know, get to the stove in the morning or something, you know, you could butt scoot boogie through there without having to do a Dukes of Hazzard yee-haw, and you could get back to the, you know, the kitchen prep area if your life depended on it for some reason. I don't know. Other than that, you got to crack the slide. Bedroom and bathroom, those are accessible. If you appreciate the extra details we go through here, hit that subscribe button. If you remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, send me $1 million. Now, I thought I would do something a little different, actually get right up and close and personal in this thing and double check the weights and measures on this. Sometimes the actual weight of the RV that we're looking at can be different from the generic brochure weight that you'll find on a manufacturer's website. This one came in about 7,040 pounds, which means it had about almost 2,600 pounds of available cargo capacity. That could be slightly different from what you saw on screen a few minutes ago. Just to try to give you a more real-world view. Now, there might be some optional equipment, some variances that factor into that, so kind of keep that stuff in mind. As long as we're over here on the driver's side, or as it is technically known, the poop side of the RV, let's take a look at some stuff. We got the square flow windows that just provide awesome, awesome airflow. I think they look kind of sleek and modern, but what's ironic is that once upon a time, radius corner windows, everybody thought those looked cool too. So sometimes it's just what's old is new again. If I take a knee here, you can see that we've got a gray tank outlet for the kitchen in the back. I can't tell if that's covered by a slide or not from here. I'll get around the back side of this thing to check it out. Yeah, great. Uncle Josh is checking out the back side of things again. Wonderful. That's what I need on my channel. And our bathroom black and gray outlet is right there. You may have noticed that we have slam latch baggage doors with magnet holdbacks and a nicely enclosed docking center right there. I like how it's also totally partitioned off from the front pass-through. Now, by default, this has 0 factory solar. The one we're looking at today is outfitted with their optional 200-watt solar package, so kind of keep that in mind. Thankfully, it does wire directly to the battery, so if you flip the battery disconnect on the RV to stop the power from getting drained, the solar package will still tend to the battery, which is nice. Let's talk construction. The general shell of the RV, there's nothing too unusual to write home about. We have a stick-built snow-load walk-on roof. We have aluminum framed laminated rear wall, side walls, and floor. What's different about this one versus the vast majority of RVs built is that it's not riding on a I-beam Lippert chassis. This is riding on a Norco huck-bolted Z-frame chassis. Some folks like to know that. Kind of like some folks like to know that this is using the Norco Norco AccuSlide system. Some folks like one, some folks dislike another. I just put the information out there. We cover all kinds of different RVs, so you can decide what works best for you. The pegboard organizer on the left side below that aluminum framework under the bed is awesome. And everything in this is basically push-button easy. You know, push-button power awning, tongue jack, and corner stabilizers. And I wanted to get down here not just to show you that, not just to show you how you do have a gas grill quick connect, but show you the underbelly. It is enclosed. It is forced air heated. It's a solid extended season package. It's not trying to be this epic mega Arctic kind of camper. I respect that. Now, when they went with the giant bedroom window, it applied a little bit of pressure onto the potential awning space. That being said, I'm not upset with the awning space that we have. It actually goes all the way to the back of the RV, which most rear kitchens don't, so that you didn't lose awning space. They just pushed it backwards so that it covers all those windows. So on a light, drizzly day, you still have the opportunity to have some airflow. Now notice where the steps and the entry door are. They're far enough away from the forward awning arm, even though that's an anti-slam door. If the wind catches that thing, it's not going to shablam against the sidewall of the RV. Now, we are riding on a wide stance stability axle system here, which will help offset some of the difficulty in towing the RV, because basically, unscientifically speaking, it helps cheat the wheelbase, and it will make the RV feel like it's a little bit shorter when you're towing it. Obviously, it's not technically deleting any sort of link there. Now, under the kitchen counter, behind where I positioned the recliners, there's just an awkward chunk of space that's difficult to use inside, so they used it outside. They gave us Dad's medicine cabinet for the bottled water and the barley pop. Now, again, kind of like the air conditioner is going to change, I have it on very good authority this is going to change. It's probably going to change away from being a drawer to maybe just some kind of generic small storage pocket or something like that. I didn't really ask why. I'm just, they gave me that information. I went, all right, cool, fine. It's the same amount of storage and no deeper than that is. It's not like it's hard to reach in there. So that doesn't really cause me any problems. If I look over here on the left, it looks like I'm recording from the Mike Tyson prison yard over here. Live from Folsom Prison, Josh the RV Nerd. I do appreciate the fact that they're including a spare tire. There are still some dollar cheaper brands that don't give us a factory spare. And what I wanted to check back here was where this sewer outlet is located. Ooh, it could be worse, but it is under a slide. My long arms could reach that, so I wouldn't have to go crawling through the soupy poopy dirt on the campsite or the driver's side of the RV. But maybe you don't like that. And if you don't like it, but you appreciate that I displayed it for you, at least drop me a little note that says, hey, thanks, or click the like button on the video. Couple last quick notes. She's ladder prepped, camera prepped, and that is a 55,000 BTU on-demand water heater back there right next to your kitchen space. A little bit far from the shower, which means you might waste some water waiting for that to heat up when you are boondocking, but in a park, less of a problem. So what do you think of the new generation, the new updates here? Are you getting good vibes or bad vibes? Now, one of the factors is, well, how much does it cost? That might determine my answer. I'm going to leave you links in the description. Any of these that we have in stock at our stores will have in stock with pricing clearly listed, and we don't do the pesky hidden dealer fees game or anything like that. So just add your taxes and tags, your state stuff. All the actual RV stuff is just all included right up front. I will also leave you links to other builders who have done a similar layout. Heritage, Glen, Salem Hemisphere are the only laminated builders I can think of offhand that really have something very, very similar and comparable. Most of the builders of this floor plan are actually stick and tin builders. But maybe that's okay with you. Maybe you don't mind the wood construction and saving some money. There's nothing wrong with that either. So take a look at those links in the description, videos, all that stuff. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you tomorrow. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.